Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and talk about this case of extreme white degeneracy. And like I said, I was thinking about resuming my white on white crime and white degeneracy series. And I think that I'll start by bringing like a couple videos on this topic. So you have a white degenerate who set up here and mixed rat poisoning into cheese at a pizza shop. Now, the funny thing is I just did a live stream and someone asked me, do I think that they are innately evil? Or rather, someone is just teaching them to be evil. And you guys have to look at their behaviors outside of racism, because even if you look at, I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, well, they're racist or whatever, they oppress everyone, but you have to look besides that. Who's the most people doing degenerate stuff like this? Who's the people who engage mostly in bestiality? Who are the ones who need to hunt, aka kill things for sport just to get a blood lust? Who are the ones who do disgusting, demented stuff like this, like mix rat poisoning into the cheese at a pizza place? I think some years back there was a case of a dude defecating in the chili at Wendy's, and it was a cabling too. So when you answer that question, you have to not only look at racism, you have to also look at the other things that they do, which right now you see a scenario where they're intentionally trying to poison someone. Keep in mind, I did also a story about some little girls, and I think I'll start putting those videos on Patreon for the new subscribers who haven't seen them, like old videos that are recorded, where there were some 6-year-old girls who were trying to kill another schoolmate with some of those silica packets. So there's so much evidence, like currently and historically, that will attest to the fact that this is just their nature, and that's separate from any white supremacy or racism. That's why I say, even if they weren't being racist, they would be doing something evil. So you need to not just think about racism in a construct of oppressing people socially. You need to look at their entire history and what they stand for. These beings are simply not happy unless they're causing harm or some kind of chaos or some kind of pain to someone. So I want to get into this video, and then I'm going to come back with some additional commentary.
At 11, rat poison at a Fayetteville pizza parlor.
An employee behind bars facing a list of charges. We first told you about this tonight at 6 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Angela Taylor.
And I'm Marius Payton. Thanks so much for joining us. The manager at Primo's Pizza Shop being praised for how he was able to spot something unusual and prevent it from ever getting near customers. He spoke with CBS 17's Amy Cutler tonight.
This is certainly going to leave a lot of customers concerned. Primo Pizza says that rat poison never made it into anyone's food. They tell me the health department came by earlier this week and gave them the all clear.
I brought up a bucket of cheese from the batch that he cut. I put it here. I fluffed it up like I normally do.
Garol Beiser, the manager of Primo Pizza, says he noticed some brown pellets mixed in with that cheese. He checked 5 other tubs. 3 of them had the same pellets. It happened Saturday morning. Beiser says he went online and determined it was either poison or supplements. That's when he checked their surveillance video. Beiser tells me he could see one of their kitchen workers, 59-year-old Ricky Adamy, putting something into the cheese. Beiser called police.
And everything he touched, I threw away. All the containers, the parts of the machine, the cheese, of course.
Are there concerns that he might have done this before?
There are concerns, but I'm reassuring them that I actually went back on the surveillance. Our surveillance system goes back a month, and I don't see him doing anything like that any other time.
Police arrested and charged Adamy. Beiser says the 59-year-old worked in their kitchen for about a year and that he's never had any problems.
I don't think it's any reflection on the owners at all. So I'm here today.
And you're going to eat the pizza?
I want to eat the pizza.
Hearing about this, would that stop you from coming back here?
Probably so, once my wife finds out about it.
Beiser says Adamy got into trouble with the owner in the hours prior to the incident. He believes that may have set him off. Adamy remains behind bars tonight on a $100,000 secured bond. In Fayetteville, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.
Now, remember when I said younger, old, male or female, foreign or domestic, they're all the same. If you guys remember me saying that, then you probably also remember me saying that they don't really grow out of their desire to be terrorists. That's what people need to understand. This is not anything that they're going to grow out of. And the reason this is not anything that they're going to grow out of, because they simply don't have the capacity to. That's why I don't understand why Black people seem to think that somehow having sex with them is going to change them. And it's really not. Black people, what we don't understand is that when someone is exhibiting things and characteristics that are evidence of a nature, that's not going to change. That's not anything that you can change. You can't change their nature any more than you could change the nature of a lion or any other wild beast. And really, if you think about it, the lions and any of those appear to have more humanity than these cavelings. So that's just a reality of what it is. And I think that Black people really need to understand that. But that's probably another thing that we won't understand. We'll probably continue to sit up here and treat these people as if they have some redeemable qualities. And that's why we'll always end up being on the bottom and subjugated, and we'll continue to until we start seeing them for who they are. I want you guys to also notice the fact that notice how there was nothing that provoked this. There was nothing that provoked or warranted this behavior. You just had some weird caveling sitting up here trying to poison and potentially kill people. Because if you're putting rat poisoning in people's cheese, then you want them to eat it, you want them to ingest it and possibly die. So you have some cavelings in here just poisoning people just for the sake of doing it. No one did anything to him. No one warranted it. He just woke up one day, apparently, and chose to poison some people, literally. And you heard what the man said. He said, well, the bottom line of it is this wasn't provoked. He hadn't been in trouble. Nobody did anything to him. It said, Bicer said Adami got in trouble with the owner hours prior to the incident. Bicer believes that may have set him up. But the thing of it is, the owner isn't eating the cheese out of there, though they're going out on people's pizzas that they're selling. So it wouldn't make sense that, and even if that was the motive, it just tells you how demented and depraved they are. Because if someone reprimanding you for whatever you did, and you're a 59-year-old grown man who should be growing out of his evil nature, but again, you can't grow out of any evil nature, it seems like the older they get, the more depraved that they get. But that wouldn't be a reason for them to do anything like this. And the difference is that with Black people, usually they're the motivation. You guys can look and notice that there's no motivation in this situation. They can speculate and say that may have been the reason, but the reality is they don't know what the reason is. So Black people just need to, Black people really need to be more careful about where they eat at. This is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I believe that more Black people need to be cooking at home. Anyway, we shouldn't be going out patronizing their businesses. I try to make it a habit to cook mostly at home, and I'm starting to not want to eat meat anyway. So, I mean, I understand and I get sometimes you want to go out, going out eating for socially or having cocktails or whatever, that's all fine and dandy. That's fun. I understand sometimes you want to do that, but you still need to be more selective about where you're at, because you have to understand that most of these places you're going to be seeing some demented cavelings, and it doesn't matter young or old, male or female, foreign or domestic, they're going to be demented and depraved. Now, I will continue to bring you guys stories of this kind. Thank you for your support. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.